Well, we've reached the midway point of the NBA season this year, and so far, it has been incredibly fun and eventful. There have been plenty of ups and downs, incredible performances, breakout players, and everything in between. And with all of that being said, the awards races have been incredibly tight. This year, arguably more so than we've seen in years, every award has plenty of competition, so analyzing each race will be as intriguing as ever, which brings us to the topic of today's video. Today we'll be going over every single player award and selecting who would win each one, along with identifying 2 runner-ups for each award at the midway point of the season. Obviously, a lot can change between now and the end of the year, but this is just a good way to identify how things stand now at the moment. Before we start though, it turns out about 66% of you watching right now aren't even subscribed to the channel, so please, if you enjoy the content, consider hitting the subscribe button, as not only does it help out a ton, but I would also very much appreciate it. Now with that being said, let's begin. The first award we'll be discussing today is the Most Improved Player Award, and at the midway point of the year, the leader for this one is Jeremy Grant of the Detroit Pistons. Grant's emergence has been incredible to watch, and I really don't think there's a single person that saw it coming before the season started. Grant established himself as a highly impactful role player on the Nuggets over the last few seasons, and his defensive versatility and offensive balance definitely helped them out a ton in that span. But when he left the team to take on a bigger role this offseason, people understood his reasoning but didn't quite expect his improvement to be this drastic. He's literally doubled his scoring output from 12 points per game last year to 23.5 per game this year. He's done so while maintaining relatively solid efficiency, shooting 43% from the field and 36% from 3, both hovering around league average, and his confidence in his lead role has been a pleasant surprise for the entire Pistons organization. Now, as for the 2 runner-ups here, it's definitely very tight, but the players right behind Grant are Christian Wood of the Rockets and Julius Randle of the Knicks. Wood was probably the leader for this award for a good part of the season, but his injury that he suffered definitely hurts, and the games played argument for him will come into play. As for Randle, he's been exceptional, leading the way for a Knicks team, shocking the entire world with their standing as the 5th place team in the East at the moment, and he's been rewarded by being named an All-Star as well. The next award we'll be discussing today is the 6th Man of the Year award, and right now the clear leader for this one is Jordan Clarkson of the Utah Jazz. The Jazz have been the most dominant team in the league to this point with the best record, and they've had a lot of success on both ends of the floor, shooting the absolute lights out on a nightly basis and locking up on defense, ranking as one of the best defenses in the league, and the leader of this team's second unit has been playing the best basketball of his life, of course being Jordan Clarkson. Clarkson's shot creation, shooting, and overall scoring ability has given the team new life whenever he subs in with the bench unit, and it allows the team to never take their foot off the gas because he can confidently torch opposing benches. He's putting up about 18 points per game, shooting 45% from the field and 37% from 3, and he can make the tough shot that you need a go-to scorer to be able to make. Clarkson's had issues with consistency throughout his career prior to this season, but it's his ability to now come through game after game that has taken him to another level. As for the runner-ups for this award, the 2 on his tail right now are Chris Boucher of the Raptors and Eric Gordon of the Rockets. Boucher is a player who honestly will end up in the consideration for Most Improved as well, but as a 6th man, he's been amazingly versatile for the Raptors that, for a while, have struggled with its frontcourt. Boucher has shot the lights out from 3, making 45% of his attempts from deep. He's been an incredible shot blocker inside, averaging nearly 2 blocks per game, and that kind of versatility and scoring has given them an impact player they can sub in and provide reliable production. Gordon, on the other hand, may be on a team in the Rockets on a pretty bad losing streak at the moment, but he's putting up about 18 points per game off the bench and trying his best to provide something positive in the middle of it all, and could potentially be a big trade target for a contender at the trade deadline. The next award we'll be discussing is the Defensive Player of the Year award, and right now the leader at the midway point of the season is Ben Simmons of the Philadelphia 76ers. Simmons' ability to take on literally any matchup at any position and comfortably make their life a living hell has been the Sixers' secret weapon this year, and down the stretch of games, he has on several occasions put the clamps on elite scorers that typically get whatever they want. We saw him take Luka Doncic completely out of his rhythm about a week ago. We just watched him shut Donovan Mitchell down a few days ago down the stretch of a very tight game between the two top teams that saw Mitchell miss 11 shots in a row in crunch time because of Simmons' pesky defense, and there are so many more examples of that happening this year that makes him a very compelling candidate for this award. He's a big and strong player like a forward, and he's quick and agile like a guard. And that combination has made him the best perimeter defender in the league this year. Now, as for the runner-ups for this award, the two players very close behind Simmons are Rudy Gobert of the Jazz and Miles Turner of the Pacers. Gobert has all of the advanced statistics and analytics favoring him, and by no means am I writing those off, because they are useful and valuable assets when analyzing stuff like this. But defense isn't something you can simply measure by a number, and rim protection, by default, does tend to result in a favorable ranking in those metrics, so the best ones always appear better. Plus, you simply cannot ignore the fact that in some of the biggest games, Gobert has been taken advantage of by top players that he's supposed to be shutting down. As for Turner, he's another top rim protector leading the league in blocks this season, and definitely has been terrific and impactful as a defender this year, but in the end, they're both just a bit behind Simmons in this race. The next award we'll be giving out is the Rookie of the Year award at the halfway point of the season, and the leader here is probably the most obvious of them all, being LaMelo Ball of the Charlotte Hornets. He leads all rookies in scoring, he leads all rookies in rebounding, he leads all rookies in assists, his playmaking has been phenomenal, his impact on the Hornets has helped vault them into a playoff hunt, and overall, he's been an amazing combination of productive and entertaining to watch. Him being in the lead is a pretty easy decision, but then for the runner-ups here, we have Anthony Edwards of the Timberwolves and Tyrese Halliburton of the Kings. Edwards may be inconsistent regarding his efficiency, but he is still the second leading scorer amongst rookies in this class, and man oh man is he good for an incredible highlight dunk every few days. Halliburton for the Kings, on the other hand, has been one of the most consistent players in the rookie class. He plays well beyond his years on both ends of the floor, and he's a very well-balanced player who can score and play make from the point guard position, and these are just three very good young players, all with promising futures. And finally, we've made it to the biggest award of all to close things out, being the MVP award, and the player leading the way in this race at the midway point of the season is Joel Embiid of the Philadelphia 76ers. Embiid is having a monstrous season this year on both ends of the floor, and the combination of insane individual production, combined with the team's success he's led the Sixers to, has earned him the top spot so far. The Sixers are at the top of the East right now. Embiid as the defensive anchor alongside Ben Simmons is another big reason why they're a top 5 defense so far. He's the second leading scorer in the NBA right now, averaging over 30 points per game. He has 5 games putting up at least 40 points and 10 rebounds, which is more than the rest of the league combined, and his game has just reached a whole new level we haven't seen from him before. With that being said though, it's definitely a tight race, and the two runner-ups for this one are Nikola Jokic of the Nuggets and James Harden of the Nets. Jokic is having himself a historically great offensive season, putting up about 27 points, 11 rebounds, and 8.5 assists per game, and the entire offense runs through him as he dictates perfectly when to attack himself and when to set his teammates up, and along with that, he's definitely in the running because of that kind of production. Harden may seem like a surprising pick here, but he has been nothing short of sensational since his arrival in Brooklyn, and with the Nets right on the Sixers' tail in the standings at the top of the conference, he's been the biggest factor. Why? He's barely gotten to play at all with Kevin Durant yet, and he's still leading the NBA in assists. He's scoring the ball more efficiently than he has in a long time, shooting 49% from the field and over 40% from 3, and him embracing the role of the point guard has unlocked the Nets as a team. All in all, these award races will be incredibly interesting to watch play out in the second half of the season, but for right now, this is where things stand. And with that being said, that's all I have for you today. Make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and comment down below who you think is leading each awards race so far. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time.